sees it.
Whoever believes that MMA is not the most dangerous sport has to watch this video. These fights got so intense that fighters almost died.
You're right. Oh!
In this video, you'll see 10 of the most insane knockouts of all time. From elbows being thrown to the head,
We go down!
to bodies crumpling like paper. This will show you how scary this sport can be. First off, Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. Now, 2022 brought us some epic knockouts, with titles changing hands like Leon Edwards and Alex Pereira doing their thing against Kamaru Usman and Israel Adesanya. But here's the real impressive one: Michael Chandler's front kick KO of Tony Ferguson. We've seen some slick front kick knockouts before from legends like Anderson Silva and Lyoto Machida, but Chandler took it to a whole new level. It wasn't just a perfectly timed piece of traditional martial arts. It was like he kicked a locked door open, smashing his foot through Ferguson's face and disconnecting him from consciousness in a split second. You don't see these types of kicks very often, and his face literally fell apart. Even if we factor in recent bias, it's hard to argue with fans calling this the greatest knockout in UFC history. Next, let's look at the epic showdown between Matt Brown and Diego Sanchez at UFC Fight Night 120. Brown was gunning for that perfect elbow strike, then BAM! Sanchez was down for the count. The referee had to step in, marking a legendary moment for Brown. What happened in that octagon was nothing short of insane. In the first round, Brown caught Sanchez's kick, pinned him against the cage, took a moment to set up his elbow, and then boom! He demolished Sanchez. The way Sanchez's body just crumbled to the floor after that powerful elbow, it's a true testament to the incredible power that Matt Brown brings to the table. But this next fighter's brutal knockout made him famous long after his retirement. George Masvidal versus Ben Askren at UFC 239 in 2019. Now, if we're talking about scary knockouts, we can't ignore the fastest one, and Masvidal's finish of Askren is an absolute showstopper. These two welterweight warriors had some serious beef leading up to their July showdown, and everyone was expecting a real battle where picking the winner wasn't easy. But here's the twist: Askren's plans got crushed in just 5 seconds. Masvidal, being the strategic mind, sensed that funky, top-notch wrestler might go for an early takedown.
The fight clock is brought to you by Modello.
So, like a bolt of lightning, Masvidal sprinted towards him. As Askren went for the takedown, Masvidal leaped into the air, landing a clean flying knee right on the dome. Funky was out cold in an instant, and honestly, Masvidal's follow-up shots were almost unnecessary, breaking a promotional record for speed. The footage went viral, and despite Gamebred having just one more win, he remained a massive MMA star until his recent retirement. Now we've got the epic showdown between Francis Ngannou and Alistair Overeem at UFC 218. When you combine the hardest hitter in UFC history with an open chin, you get the most brutal knockout ever. UFC 218 was Ngannou's time to shine, and boy did he deliver. The Cameroonian French wrecking ball was already known as the most terrifying fighter in the division, but his brutal knockout of Alistair Overeem solidified him as a true title challenger.
Maynard's phone to try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Goes the win.
I said something when Ngannou's striking power is like a Prius going 40 miles an hour. That's some serious force right there. Let's rewind to 2014 when the UFC launched its Fight Pass streaming service. In Abu Dhabi, a heavyweight clash between Roy Nelson and Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira delivered one of the most brutal knockouts in UFC history. Nogueira, known for his iron chin, was past his prime at 37, while Nelson, also on the decline, possessed a dangerous weapon in his brutal punching power. Midway through the first round, Nelson landed a massive right hook, sending Nogueira crashing to the mat.
It's against DeSanta. Oh, that was a beautiful uppercut from Roy. Nogueira's hurt. He does a really good job, Roy. Oh, there's a This could be it. Over the place.
Nogueira's doing a dance.
Roy does a beautiful job of. Oh, there it is again.
That's got to be it. It is indeed.
It's a scary moment, reminiscent of the wild early days of the UFC. For Nogueira, that knockout signaled the beginning of the end, as he would step into the Octagon just one more time before retiring. Let's talk about Yair Rodriguez versus Chan Sung Jung at UFC Fight Night 139. In the headline bout of the UFC's 25th anniversary show, Rodriguez did something spectacular. He stopped the Korean Zombie with just 1 second left in the 5th round. And that's not even the craziest part. The whole fight had been a roller coaster.
Steps in with the staggered or knocked down yet. And he's gone for the takedown. He's still throwing combinations, just like right there. And he lands a left hand. Now being able to find Rodriguez.
Crossing top of the kick.
Whoa. Zombie. Oh, nice combo there from Zombie moving forward. Oh,
Rodriguez
knocks off balance.
Gets him to the mat. Show no signs.
Oh. Big body kick.
Korean Zombie holding the edge in each. Wow, Rodriguez showing the creativity on the ground.
And as the seconds were taken away, Jung was going all out for one final push. But here's where it gets wild. Rodriguez pulled off an incredible upwards arcing back elbow right to Jung's jaw, knocking him out cold in an instant.
Who has the bigger shots?
Nice body kick.
One more flurry.
Oh!
It was a moment that left everyone in disbelief. I mean, it's not just incredible, it's downright bizarre, and easily one of the most unforgettable knockouts in UFC history. But the next knockout is something you won't forget anytime soon. Gary Goodridge versus Paul Herrera. Herrera, known for his grappling skills, was in for a surprise. Goodridge came in with a move you've probably never seen before. He formed a human crucifix right on Herrera's shoulders and delivered some devastating elbows.
Way more powerful than Paul Herrera.
And quickly Herrera shoots the leg.
And Herrera's a very...
Oh my, elbows in number by Goodridge. And
The first hit rocked Herrera, and the second one, well, it knocked him straight into dreamland. Those following 6 hits, they were like bold statements marking Goodridge's powerful debut as Big Daddy. This move was so intense, it could have been called murder. By the second elbow, Paul was already out cold, and the fight probably should have been stopped right then and there. Speaking of intense fights, it's always very scary to see fighters continue to hit their opponents after they've already hit the canvas. Let's talk about the heavyweight showdown between Kamaru Usman and George Masvidal at UFC 261 in 2021. You see, Usman won against Masvidal in 2020 with his wrestling skills. Some fans weren't too excited about it, feeling it lacked the thrill they were after, but boy did Usman change things up in the rematch.
His world title, he'd like to get on that plane, having had his guy come through.
The fifth takedown, because if you don't, that's what's gonna happen. By Usman. That was a good jab too.
In the second round, he threw a right hand that could have knocked out a charging rhino.
And of all the superlatives,
No joke. Masvidal hit the canvas out cold. There wasn't a shred of doubt about who ruled the Octagon that night. Amidst all the knockout highlights of 2021, the rivalry between Usman and Masvidal made this one stand out. It's more than just a victory. It's a statement that reverberates throughout the MMA world. This next fight was intense from start to finish. Jiri Prochazka and Dominic Reyes at UFC 295. These two fighters brought some serious firepower into the Octagon.
Conventional approach. Oh, nice left. Reyes fires a kick. How good is the footing on Reyes as he backs to the fence? Uppercut for Prochazka.
Going at it for over 9 intense minutes. Prochazka was in control, landing an impressive 78 strikes compared to Reyes' 68. Let me tell you about the knockout. It's a serious contender for the 2021 KO of the year. A stunning spinning elbow left Reyes sprawled out on the mat, completely knocked out.
Toughness shown on each side. Spinning elbow!
That knockout earned Prochazka a shot at the 205-pound title, solidifying his place in the Knockout Hall of Fame. Finally, we've got the legendary clash between Dan Henderson and Michael Bisping at UFC 100. These two fighters were MMA icons, setting the stage for an unforgettable showdown. Before the fight, Bisping was all about the trash talk, trying to get into Henderson's head. The tension escalated when they coached on The Ultimate Fighter Season 9. On July 11th, 2009, the Octagon was primed for their battle. The prize? A shot at Anderson Silva, the middleweight champ at the time.
He landed a couple of good shots there, though. Hendo again with that right hand. Angered the prideful American as well. He'll just fight, and fight is to the top. Good right hand by Bisping, partially blocked by Henderson.
3 minutes into the second round, Henderson pulled off a slick move. He caught Bisping with a body jab, tricking him into dropping his guard, and then Hendo unleashed his trademark H-bomb, a powerful overhand right. The impact was brutal. Henderson, a two-time Pride champion, knocked Bisping out cold. The Englishman hit the canvas, his neck stiff and eyes glazing up at the ceiling. A weak follow-up punch from Bisping couldn't match his dazed state. This knockout, it's etched in UFC history as one of the most savage and unforgettable moments. Henderson became only the second person to defeat Bisping, but here's the kicker. He was the first to knock him out. These moments remind us that even fighters with an air of invincibility can be brought down. That's all for the scariest knockouts in the UFC. But if you want to catch some more MMA content, make sure to click on this next video.